Dreaming of starting an assisted living home in Maryland? Today, I'm going to give you the step-by-step guide to turn your vision into reality. For anyone looking to start an assisted living home in the state of Maryland, it is legally required that you comply with the Code of Maryland Regulations, or COMAR. These regulations ensure that facilities provide safe, respectful, and high-quality care for residents while maintaining the safety and operational integrity of the home. By following COMAR's rules, assisted living homeowners can avoid penalties, lawsuits, and shutdowns, all while creating an environment that prioritizes residents' well-being. COMAR is going to be your new best friend because they basically lay out all the rules and regs for you. And they provide a framework for consistency across the state, so everyone is abiding by the same rules, which we love rules in the assisted living industry because they help us maintain safety for the seniors. This really makes it easier for the residents and their families to trust that in Maryland, assisted living homes are all going to meet these standard requirements. So if you're thinking of opening an unlicensed home, just don't do it. Start with establishing your business plan. This is going to outline your pricing structure, your residency care programs, and a great marketing strategy. A solid business plan is the key to securing financing because you don't want to use your own money to get started in this industry. So whether through personal savings, loans, or investors, you're going to want to lay out that business plan to start raising the capital. And the business plan, it should really detail how you plan to provide quality care, the types of services you want to offer, and the projected financials for the first couple of years of operation. COMAR specifies the types of licenses required for operating an assisted living facility in Maryland. These are based on the home size and the level of care being provided. There's really two primary types of licenses. Type 1, which is for homes with 2 to 4 residents, or Type 2 for homes with 5 to 16 residents. COMAR outlines the criteria for each license and details the application process, including required documentation and standards that the facility must meet for approval. You're going to need to find a home with a great location that complies with local zoning laws and building codes, and the property must be suitable for an assisted living home, or you're going to have to make it suitable by doing a big renovation. With sufficient space for living quarters, common areas, and emergency exits, as many bedrooms and bathrooms as you can, Maryland law requires that assisted living homes be accessible, safe, and equipped to accommodate individuals with any mobility impairments, aka if they're in a wheelchair or using a walker. Before purchasing or renting a property, consult with local authorities to ensure that the facility is in an appropriate zoning district and that it can meet all building and fire safety requirements. After you get the location and you renovate it for assisted living, you'll need to apply for a license from the Maryland Department of Health. For this application process, you'll want to submit a detailed plan that outlines your home's layout, the services, the staffing, and any compliance with health and safety regulations. You'll also need to provide documentation of your qualifications, any required certifications for any other staff members, including the facility administrator. They basically want to know who you are and why are you looking to open this care home. They want to make sure you don't have any nefarious reasons for wanting to get involved with seniors. Maryland requires assisted living administrators to have specific training and experience in both healthcare and management. The application process will include a background check for any owners and administrators, as well as an inspection by the state to make sure that the actual home meets all of the required standards. COMAR also outlines staffing requirements for assisted living homes, including the qualifications for the administrator, the caregivers, and any other medical staff who's coming over to see the seniors. It also mandates that administrators must complete specific training and certification to ensure that they can properly manage the facility and provide the appropriate care. They really want to make sure that these people are trained correctly and that they know what they're doing. And that's a really good thing. It should really make you rest easy if you have a loved one in a Maryland assisted living. There's also state-specific staff-to-ratio residence required for these homes that are offering intensive care. Maryland assisted living homes, they're not required to have nurses on staff unless the type of care provided requires one, but typically you're not required to have a nurse. Staff training and continuing education are essential to be sure your home is meeting the high standard of care that's required by the state. Assisted living homes in Maryland are required by law to adhere to certain care standards, such as developing individualized care plans for each resident, tailored to their specific health and personal needs. Assisting residents with ADLs, or activities of daily living, things like bathing, dressing, eating, all of those things, or even implementing procedures to ensure that these medications are being administered safely and correctly, and ensure that the residents have their right to privacy, their right to dignity, their right to autonomy. COMAR is going to require that the facilities respect those rights. So it's really important to read up on all of your state rules and regulations before you open your first care home. Check out this video where I break down the 5 steps to getting started in assisted living right here on YouTube next. Health and safety are major focuses of COMAR. Regulations require facilities to maintain a safe and clean living environment, including proper sanitation and hygiene practices, and to ensure that the building meets local and safety building codes, as well as any fire safety regulations. They also want to make sure you have emergency procedures and evacuation plans in place to protect residents in any case of fire, natural disasters, or just other emergencies in general. And you also have to comply with infection control practices, think COVID, right, to prevent the spread of illness. I love that your state has a lot of regulations. In COMAR, they mandate that assisted living homes are subject to regular inspections by the Maryland Department of Health, the MDH. These inspections, when they come over for them, what they're doing is they're assessing whether the home meets all the health, safety, and operational standards. Assisted living homes are required to keep detailed records, such as care logs and staff certifications, and this really just helps ensure continuous compliance with the Maryland state standards. Failure to meet these standards can result in penalties or the revocation of a facility's license. Finally, you must comply with ongoing operational requirements. In Maryland, assisted living homes are subject to regular inspections, so you need to keep proper records, conduct care assessments for each resident, and ensure that all medications and treatments are administered according to the legal and medical guidelines. Basically, just stay in the lines, okay? Don't color outside the lines on this one. Just like many other states, it is totally possible to open an RAL home in the state of Maryland, and we'd love to help you do just that. You'll need to obtain the license and the funding, renovate or build the home, work with zoning and hire the licensed appropriate staff, sort out all the paperwork and documentation, and then market to fill the beds. There is a lot to be done, but it sure can be done a whole lot faster when someone is there to guide you along the way. So don't waste any more time and check out this video right here on YouTube for some next steps. Let's help you become the next RAL owner in the state of Maryland.